What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power XXI, J. Royce Films. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and you're watching The Red Room with Shay Samuels, right here on Music Vision Television. That's right, MVTV-21.com. It's going to be awesome, y'all. So please share this file. It's going to be awesome. You know what's going to be? It's going to be lit.
Greetings, everyone. Dr. Annette is here. I'm excited to be able to share with you in an opportunity conference, along with these other wonderful sisters, women in the Lord. We have some powerful content for you. And I love that we come from varied perspectives in sharing. I was thinking that sometimes as we look at ourselves, we may realize that we have not treated ourselves as best we should. We may realize that we've put everybody else before us. And then we may look at ourselves and realize we are not in a good place. We are not where we thought we would be at this point in our lives. In this season of pandemic, I've been talking to a lot of people. A lot of people are stressed. They're confused. They're tired of being in. And I want you to know there is going to be a brighter future. But we have to process through every day. Some of us in this season of pandemic may have had businesses just laid in our hands for us to put forth the work. I know that happened to me. I want you to know that God has a God-given destiny for you. The Lord has plans and He has purpose for your life. Now, there may be times, because we're human, there may be times when we feel like we're slowing down and we're not moving at the momentum that we believe that we should. But don't give up hope. Keep that desire. Keep the willingness to work, because there are great possibilities before you. I want to encourage you that no matter where you are in your life, you're still living, you're still breathing. So guess what? There is still opportunity for you to step into your greatness. And so my hope in this session is that what I share with you will spark just a ray of hope to get you started. I hope you will be inspired to move ahead with a greater determination to reach the purpose for which God designed you, for which He has called you. I fully believe, my sister, might even be some brothers that get in here, but I really believe that God has something greater for you. As a college professor, I've been afforded the opportunity more than 25 years to teach varied topics. And so there's one that is dear to my heart, and it is a personal analysis. I'll call it a personal SWOT analysis. In the world of business, we use the SWOT analysis to examine where we are, where we want to be, lay out possibilities of how we can get there, and then choose the best viable option. So with the personal SWOT analysis, we want to talk about, like, where am I today? Am I in a good place? And even if I am, is there a better place? Is there more for me to do? And so I want us to ponder some questions before I really start talking about the analysis. And people say that you should be willing and wanting to do what you are good at. So I would ask you, what is your passion? Have you even thought about what is it that just drives your mind, that you always have had a desire to do? For me, my passion has always been teaching. How did I know that? When I was in the 6th grade, I had a black teacher. She was my first black teacher, and she was a black female teacher. I had some things going on in my life. She didn't know it, but she called me aside one day, and she just kind of encouraged me that I was gonna make it, that I was smarter than I thought I was. Now, she only stayed with us part of the year because she was expecting, and in that time teachers didn't come back for a while. But she left a lasting impression on me. And I said, from that point on, I'm going to be a teacher. I am going to teach. So teaching has always been my passion. Now, have I always taught the same thing? No. But I've always taught in some capacity. So I've always had this strong feeling, this strong desire. So think to yourself, what is my passion? Write it down. Write it down. Have you taken the time to find out what your gifts are, what your talents are? And they're not the same thing. Gifts are endowed by God, and He gives those freely to us. But talents are something that we choose to do, something that presses us to want to do that particular thing. It may be something that you're already doing. A young lady that I know, she's an artist, and when I had my creativity group, we used to meet up, and she showed us some of her pictures, and she's a painter. And I was like, when did you start doing that? And she said 3 years ago. And I looked at her work because it was so impeccable. It was so true to life. I was thinking, how is it possible that she just jumped in with this? It was always within her and she didn't know it. But because she was going through a divorce, she decided to stretch and do something that would give her peace. And now people are vying for her work and paying great prices for what she has. And also ask yourself, is there a problem or is there a goal that I want to meet? Is there a problem I want to solve or a goal that I want to meet? And there are different goals. You can have an academic goal, a career goal, a monetary goal. You can have an ethical goal, creative goal, domestic goals, physical goals, all different kind of goals. I'm not going to go into all of that because my time is limited. But I just want to touch on some things to help you. And so when we look at the SWOT analysis, we look at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, that's our word, and opportunity, and threats. And strengths and weaknesses are those things that are internal to us that we have the power for sure to do something about it. But opportunities and threats are things that are external to us that we have to be watchful for. So your strength is what you're good at. If you're good at something, then you're ahead of the game. And the thing about a strength is you can always learn more. You can always add more to it to make it stronger. It's your strength. It is power. It is power. And so you have knowledge-based strengths, you have transferable skills, you have personal traits. All of those things are a part of your strengths, what you are good at. And then you have some weaknesses. And a lot of people, in the interview, I used to sit on the panel for a lot of interviews. And when we would ask that one question, so what area or areas do you struggle in? And people, I don't struggle with anything. Well, that's not truthful. All of us struggle with something. Maybe it may be a simple thing as, well, I'm not as organized as I start out being, okay? But all of us, and I can say that about myself, I'm an administrator. I am an anointed administrator, but sometimes I don't want to administrate. And sometimes I have a pile of stuff, as I do right now, sitting over here, about 20 books, right next to me, so that I could get to them real quick when I could just as easily walk over there and put them in the shelf. But for me, that's a weakness because I don't always want to move and put things back. But let's look at this opportunity. An opportunity is something that is by chance, something that is a possibility that you can do, something that you've not done before, something that you may have done before, but you've been away from it, or you've done it before and now it's at a higher magnitude that you can do. So we want to be a part of a new opportunity, an opportunity. We want to do something more. We want to do something greater. And we want to sometimes even do something new. So let me share with you a little testimony of an opportunity for me in this season of pandemic. As the holistic wellness life coach, I've been sharing with people for ever, but in a higher capacity in the past couple of years about holistic wellness, clean eating, taking care of mind, body, spirit. In the process, I created a group on Facebook called Holistic Wellness, Mind, Body, Spirit. On that group, I share pictures of things that I bake, cook, information that people may need for their wellness. And so I was sharing that I do lemon ginger shots every day. And so people started saying, oh, tell me about it, tell me about it, tell me about it. So I actually posted a recipe on my page, a way to do it. And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna perfect this. And so when I perfected it and got it to the measurements and everything and the consistency that I wanted, I shared it again. And then people started saying, how can I get it? How can I get it? So in the season of pandemic, a lot more people was like, oh, I need to take care of myself better. Oh, lemon ginger shots is good for the system. It's good for your skin. It's good for so many things. It's good for your joints. It's good for aches and pains. So it's good for a lot of things and it's natural. And when we talk about holistic wellness, we want to utilize as much as what God created in nature. And not all of the prescriptions and things that the doctors would give to us. And so therein started the business, Gen QK Boost. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just do it for some family and some friends, some people that I know. And then people on Facebook started messaging me like, how can I get this? And I was like, well, give me a minute. So I had the opportunity to do something more. Or I could have said, I could have looked at it as, my weaknesses, that means I got to do more. I got to research how to package this for shipping. I got to research how to make it in such a way that it can travel through the mail system. I could have said all of those things. And let me tell you, I did think it. But because I believe that God will just put an opportunity in front of us, a new opportunity to see how we're going to engage. What are we going to do about it? And so I decided, okay, I'm going to research. I went to the Department of Agriculture and looked up, how to ship products and just different things. And I was like, oh, that's a lot. But you know what? I'm like, you know what, Lord, you've given me a new opportunity. I cannot sit back and let this opportunity pass me by. If I let it pass me by, somebody else is going to pick it up. And so that was my opportunity in this season. See, I consider an opportunity conference is a new opportunity for me as well. These are women that I didn't even know in advance of us coming together. I had only met Lakeisha Mosley from the Lakeisha Mosley Show. I hadn't met the other three ladies, but God divinely pulled us together, an opportunity. And so I just really wanted to share with you today that in this session, that there are opportunities all around you. But I want you to get a pen and get a piece of paper. Get a little notebook. I keep a little notebook in my purse. I keep a little notebook by my computer. I keep a little notebook by the couch where I sit on my little stand. I keep a notebook. I know I can type, but sometimes you get a thought, you don't want to type, you just want to write it down. It's just a quick thought. So as you are going through the sessions, and I believe it's going to be at least 10 sessions in this conference, make sure you're taking notes, reminders for yourself, gaining some nuggets from what's being shared. So we want to identify our strengths. We want to identify our weaknesses. But this is what I can tell you. If you have a weakness and you learn things to do, you can shift that weakness into a strength. So your weakness doesn't always have to stay a weakness. When I think about my joints, sometimes they bother me. If I don't actively engage, do some exercise, do some walking, guess what? Then my weakness will continue to be in my joints. So I have joint disease, but that doesn't mean I have to say, oh, since I have it, guess what? I'm not going to do anything. No, I'm going to do the things that I need to do so that my weakness becomes a strength and not a liability. So in the process, excuse me, of learning that there's a new opportunity which is external to you, there's also threats that are lurking. That's why we have to be careful about telling too much of what the Lord is speaking to us and how he's moving us. What I'm saying is, if I had told someone else what the Lord was doing with me and this Gen QK boost before I was in position to do certain things, then somebody, and there's always somebody trolling watching, would have grabbed it and they would have gone on and did it themselves. I've talked to a few people and they'll say to me, you know, there's another juice place in your area. Have you been there? I was like, no, I pass by it often. It's on the other, about 15 minutes away. I said, I pass by it often, but I've not been led to go in there because I don't want to go in there picking somebody else's ideas and way of doing things when God has already given me the way I need to work, the way that I need to flow. Now, don't get me wrong. It's okay to benchmark. Benchmark means you look and see what others have done. The part of the wheel that doesn't need to be recreated, don't reinvent it. Utilize it. Give credit if you use it, and then build upon it. So it's okay to look at what other people are doing. But for me, I didn't want to do that. So how are you going to decide what you want to do in this season? You're going to write it down. You're going to make it plain. You're going to write down things that you desire to do, the things you've been dreaming about, the things that you have envisioned, the things that have been sitting up here. Now you're going to put it on paper. And as you put it on paper, you begin to look at it. And you begin to say, oh, this looks plausible. This looks like I may be able to do this. What are the steps that I will need to take? What do I need to put in place for me to do this? Remember, I said you have your strengths and your weaknesses that are internal to you, and your opportunities and threats that are external to you. But with each one, you need to write down the things that you are good at. Write down the things that you are weak at. Write down the opportunities that exist for you right now. But also write down what type of threats are out there. But in the midst of that, make sure that you are praying. Make sure that you are talking to the Lord. Make sure that you are asking the Lord to help you to stay focused in the effort. Remember, I talked about your strengths. What are you good at? What's your training? What's your technical capabilities? What type of skills do you have that are transfer? Like I have transferable skills in that I am definitely a people person. I always say, I love people. I love to serve God and I love to serve people. I love planning. I love motivating other people to step forward and do their best. So as a holistic wellness life coach, I focus on mind, body, spirit. That encompasses everything. What type of job are you thinking about? So I help even, there are career counselors, but I help people with their careers. What's the next step? How to get there? What are your personal traits? Are you dependable? Because if you're going to move into something new, you're going to need to be dependable. If you're going to open a business, you have to depend on yourself. You have to be willing to do what is required to move ahead. Are you hardworking? Are you friendly? If you're not a friendly person, then the business that you may be starting is not one where you are out engaging people. You may have a business where it's strictly online and people are just, connecting with you via that way. You may not be live like we are in this session if you're not a people person. Are you a team player? Or do you like to do what you do solo? What do you do? What kind of achievements do you have? I have binders that are like this thick. And I have certificates through years that I can go back to remind me of places I've been, things that I've done. I know we have a resume and we put things on a resume, but it's good to have that insight. So if I'm trying to do something, I can go back and I can say, oh yeah, I did this. Here are resources from that. So I want you to really think about who you are, where you are, what you want to do, how you want to do it. And begin to work it, begin to process it, begin to write it down. And like I said, we can't give you everything in these sessions, but we'll be available if you need to reach out to us. And the good thing about these sessions is that they are, once you pay in, you can come back and listen to them and glean from them. It's not a one-time thing. But I really want to, really want to encourage you that the greater is within you. You haven't fully tapped into it yet, and this is a new season. You can work your analysis. I normally go back and process through mine like every 90 days to see if I'm on track with the plan that I have, that I've set for myself. Did I complete what I said I was going to complete? If I didn't, what happened? Was it something that couldn't be avoided as to why I didn't complete it? Or was I just being slack? Because sometimes I can find myself being slack. I was telling my auntie, I was like, when I have a lot of things to do, man, I am on it, I get it done. But when I just have one or two things to do, I drag my feet. Like, I am a multitasker. So the more things I have before me, it's like the better I can accomplish things. But I have to make myself get on it. Like, get on it, Dr. Annette. This needs to be done. It doesn't matter that you don't have a lot of things to do. Get this done. So I want you to get this done. I want you to know that you can achieve so much more. But consistently work your personal SWOT analysis so that you can stay on task. So that's what I'm going to share with you in this session. I will be back again, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you.